So good morning, students. Today we are discussing about the classification of computers based on their configurations. So based on the performance, the size, the cost and capacity, so the digital computers are classified. So digital computers are classified into four different types of computers. One is called a microcomputer. It's not microprocessor, so it's a microcomputers, mini computers, and then mainframe computer, and also one of the most important is a supercomputer. So these are things which we are going to discuss now. So first, let us take about microcomputers. So microcomputer is also called as a personal computers. What we use today at home, what our colleges and schools, what we have seen computers, they belongs to this microcomputers. That's called the personal computers. It was also called as a personal computers. It was introduced in 1970. The number of processors in microcomputers will be one or two. Normally we have only one processor, or sometimes we may have two processors. It contains, as usual, so there's an input device and output device and memory device or storage device, and of course we have a processor. It is used by one person at a time. So example of personal computers or PCs, today's whatever the type of PCs we are going to use, we are using now, that is an Apple Macintosh. It's also an example of this personal computers. The major types of personal computers are desktop computers, which you are very familiar, I think, okay. And then one more is portable computers like laptops, so on smartphones today what we are using. These are the types of personal computers. The major types we have, one is desktop computers and another is portable computers. Let us learn something about desktop computers. All we are familiar with what is desktop computers, okay. So these computers can easily fit on a table or desktops, hence we have the name. Of course, they can be fitted on this table, you can, or desk on the top of the desk, you can place the computers. That's why it's called the desktop computers. These computers come in two models or casings. So in desktop model, the system unit is placed on the desktop or a table. So system unit, normally this one. A monitor is also placed on the system unit. So this is a monitor. So both will be placed, and so in a tower model, so both monitors and systems are placed on the table. So one method is you can place, the monitor and the processor in different places, but in a tower model, so both monitors and systems are placed on a table. So that not much difference, but the way you place monitors and a processor, that's a CPU, what we call in this complete case. So that can be based on that. That is what we call as desktop. So this is normal a tower model, and also we can use a desktop or table, what we are normally using. So let us learn about different types of desktop computers. We have one is a portable computers. So portable is a personal computer. Again, it's a person that can carry from one place to another place easily. Of course, so you have seen notebook computers, and also have a handheld computers. That is what today we call as a smartphone, or example of portable computers. So notebook computers also called as, sometimes they are called laptop. So the laptop computers are very small in size and can be placed easily on the lap. So in terms of performance wise, both are same. So laptop computers and also desktop computers, they are same, but only difference is the power and also memory. Everything is going to be same, but only difference is they can be carried. That's why the word portable. They can be moved from one place to another place. So laptop, that's why they call as a laptop, means that can be easily fit on your lap. That's why it's called laptop. And also we have a smartphone, handheld computers. That's, I think everyone today's generation, everybody knows about laptop or notebook computers. So next we have handheld computers like smartphones. So handheld computers like a smartphone are also portable. So they can be, nowadays you are using mobiles, high-end mobiles, or example of like handheld computers or smartphone. Handheld computers also known as a palm top computers because it easily fits on the hand of the user. So it's the size of the palm. It can easily operate with the palms, keeping on the palm. That's why it's also called as a palm top computers. So uses of microcomputers, where we use this in both, that's the desktop computers and portable computers. So where uses of these microcomputers, the PC is the most common type of computers used in office. In most of the places, at home, at office, at schools, many places we use computers. Those are the comes under that's what microcomputers. That's why you can see the most common type of computers used in office. The office is school. Any offices you go, you see computer means they are the example of microcomputers, and also widely used in many homes. I think most of you are using computers, like either it's a desktop or a portable computer. So these are also sometimes they are used in a business, of course, some small businesses, and also some engineering applications like planning, some simple calculations. They're using, like civil department, they use for designing, taking the printouts. Sometimes they use this simple microcomputers. So they are limited usage. They are not much powerful than other computers, but they're still what you can do with, like playing games or learning some simple applications, or maybe entertainment. You use a computer like personal computers, that's some microcomputers. So now let us learn another is mini computers. Normally mini computers are most powerful than the microcomputers, and also they have two or more. We'll discuss that something about. So that's the only differences in terms of powers and also the capacity, and also supporting for a number of tasks, multitasking. More than one user can use at the same time. So these are all a basic idea of classification, depending on how we use the computers and how it's configured. So that's the size, number of people using, and its power. So that's what we are discussing. One more example is mini computers. So mini computers are also introduced in 1960s. Mini computers is a large and more powerful computer than the personal computer. So it's, as already I told, so they are more powerful than the personal computers. It can execute 5 million instructions per second. So 5 million instructions per second. That's much faster than what we call a personal computer. So it generally consists of 2 or more processors. So as I told, normally the personal computers have only 1 processor, maximum 2 processors. It minimum 2 or more. So it have many processors. So when you have many processors, means you can execute more instruction, and also it supports for many users. Like server-oriented systems, we use mini computers. The mini computers can serve up to 4,000 connected users simultaneously, because it has a many processors and all. So you can connect minimum, like it can serve up to, so 4,000 users can connect to the server, and they can use simultaneously without any disturbance. So it is normally accessed by personal computers or a terminal. A device with only monitor and keyboard is called as a terminal. Terminal node is also called as a dumb device. It's also called as a dumb terminal or dumb device. It has no processing power. It cannot work. It's a standalone computer. So it has just a keyboard and monitor. So they are attached, and all this has to be connected to this mini computer. So mini computers could perform very faster compared to personal computers. Even personal computers can be connected to mini computers. So example for mini computers are VAX 8800, AS 400. So these are the example of what you call mini computers. In exams, they may be write a note on mini computers. So you have to explain and also give an example of mini computers. So name any one mini computers, like you have to write VAX 8800, AS 400. And sometimes just you read. These are all like theoretical concepts, just we have to go with, okay? All the 1 mark question, sometimes 2 marks, 3 marks they may ask in the exams. So next comes, what is the uses of this mini computers? So mini computers are often used by small to medium sized companies to provide a centralized store of information. So what actually means, as already I said, when you have a small sized companies to provide centralized store of information. Because when you have a company, their branches may be distributed in many places. Maybe you have different places. So all has to be connected through the central system, or like there should be a server, and all company-related information has to be shared with many branches. How this can be done means like mini computers. As I told, you can connect to this mini computers with a personal computer or like some dumb terminals. So using that, you can. So in those environment, we can use the mini computers. So it's a simple example. That is where we have a small to medium-sized companies can use this mini computers. So normally they are quite expensive than the personal computers. So next we have our mainframe. So mainframe computers. So mainframe computers are introduced in 1975. So mainframe computers are very large computers in size. It's more powerful than the mini computers. As I told you, as we go up, so they'll be much powerful. And it consisting of multiple processors. So we are talking about only 2 processors. So it may be having many processors or multiple processors. It is designed to perform a multitask and multiple user at the same time. So that's a multitask and multi-users. So it's not only that support multiple tasks and also can use a multi-user at a time, so same time. So mainframe computer can serve up to 50,000 users at the same time. So where we had only 4,000, so but it has a 50,000 users at the same time. And obviously we have a many multitask, multiple users at the same time, and also as I told, it can perform many processor because it can support means normally it will be having a multiple processor. We have a many processor, not one or two, so two or three, so maybe multiple, many, maybe 2,000, minimum you can take 50. So many processor will be there. That's why they are very expensive but very powerful. They can support minimum up to 50,000 user at the same time. The user can access mainframe computers through a terminal or personal computer. So you can connect to this mainframe computer using personal computers or through normal terminals. A typical mainframe computer can execute a 16 million instructions per second. This is also very powerful. That's why, because it has a many processor. So it can execute 16 million instructions per second. Example of mainframe computers are NEC 610, DEC NEC 610, DEC 10 is also an example of what we call the mainframe computers. They are very powerful, they are expensive, and you can see so they can support for 50 users at the same time, and it's multitasking and multi-user. It also supports, and also it is but it has a many processor, multiple processor, and much powerful than many computers. So this is something about mainframe computers. So now let us learn about the usage of mainframe computers. So mainframe computers are used in a large organization, as I told. So because it's 16 million instructions per second, we have to handle 50,000 people at the same time. So definitely the company is going to be very big. So large organization, for example, airlines, they use the computers for ticket reservation system. You might have seen, so when you go to in front of the system they are doing, and you also have seen ticket reservation is done using all the computers. Using computers we have learned applications. There we cannot use your desktop personal computers, because to process that system, the server, there is what you see at the computers, at the counter is same computers, but they're all 50,000 computers are connected together. Maybe more than 50,000. So that is the mainframe computer. So serving all these different branches or different counters by a single system, that is a mainframe computers. So we have a mainframe computers like IBM offering IBM's Z series of mainframe computers. The server dominated have presented its own challenge of cost, because normally they are very expensive. Complexity and security is also important because many computers are involved. Indian companies are looking for a more responsive and dynamic environment, and mainframes are increasingly being considered. Now what happens in Indian companies are looking for more responsive and dynamic environment. So that is the area they are looking for. We want such powerful computers. Normally it should be dynamic and also very responsive, because what happens means they have used in many places in Bangalore, Mysore, or maybe you can think of some different plants, Delhi or Hyderabad, maybe different places they're using at the same time. They should be dynamic and also they should be responsive. So there are many companies like we have RBI uses this mainframe computers, HDFC, now TCS company, and also HCL. Wipro. So these are the many like NSDL or they are the clients of these mainframe computers. That is indirectly the mainframe computers are used by this large organization. The bankings we need, and TCS company, software company, and also we have RBI, Indian Reserve Bank of India uses, because all has to communicate it. So there we use the mainframe computers. So clients face a rising energy and cooling cost, limited floor space, and manpower concern required to man servers. So in NADRA, the computerized national identity card issuer in Pakistan, uses the mainframe computers to maintain the information of population. So that's also used many other places. So cooling cost, facing rising energy because process more, and also the cooling cost. The cost of this mainframe computers all really quite comparatively very less compared to human resource, a limited floor space, and also the space is limited. You do not need a big buildings where we need to like human, if you want to keep and more space and floor space and all are a manpower concern required. So they're all reduced now. So because of mainframe computers, and also Pakistan uses identity card, national identity card used by they use the mainframe computers. And also one more, we have supercomputers. Supercomputers were introduced in 1980s. The supercomputers is the fastest computers. Supercomputer is the biggest in size and most expensive in price than any other computers. Okay. So the Tata's Ecom, because already we have talked about supercomputers, means they're fastest computer, of course. That's why they use the word supercomputers, and they are big in size, normally quite big, and most expensive. Normally they are very expensive than any type of computer so far what we discussed, like personal computers or mini computers or microcomputers and mainframe computers, and this is all very expensive. Tata's Ecom supercomputers in Pune, we have a computational research laboratories. Okay, so they have developed remains the fastest Indian supercomputer. So which is the fastest supercomputers produced by India means Tata's EKA. So it's the top performances 132.8 teraflops remaining unchanged. However, shifting the goal first, high performance computing technology sees ECA slips because number 18 to number 16 in the list. So as you know, we are shifting away with the most other high-end computers are produced. So as a result, so its world rank slips from 18 to 26. The government run that's the Center for Development of Advanced Computers. Central for Development of Advanced Computers. Sometimes they are for expansion. C for Central for Development of Advanced Computing. Also headquarters in Pune sees the Param, P-A-R-M. So Param supercomputers and UA machines at number 137. The largest rating announced in so older date. Okay, it speeds in fact a bit faster than 38.1 teraflops, but its ranks is 137 and down from its was 109 to 139. Present ranking maybe we do not know this when textbook was produced that time. So this is the ranking. And supercomputer is the most sophisticated, complex, and advanced computers. Of course, it has to be. Okay, it's a sophisticated and very complex and very advanced computers. It has a very large storage capacity, and it can process trillion instructions of second, and that's trillion instruction per second. So it can process trillions of instruction in a second or per second. Supercomputer is the fastest and most powerful computers of all the time. So what we have today is powerful. Supercomputers are very expensive. As I told, they are expensive. Supercomputers are used for highly calculation and intensive tasks. Like supercomputers are used for specialized applications that require immense amount of mathematical calculations. Supercomputers are designed primarily by computer scientist Seymour Cray at CDC, Control Data Corporation. So what actually where the supercomputers we'll be discussing, normally supercomputers are used for highly calculation intensive tasks. So normally where we have a high calculating task, large amount of data we have to deal with, and we have to process such huge amount of data, there we use this supercomputers, specialized applications. So immense of mathematical calculation, where there's a large mathematical like science and research places maybe sometimes we use. So there might be needed. So mathematical calculations and supercomputers, it is designed by computer scientists, Seymour. Sometimes who designed the supercomputers, Seymour Cray, were at Control Data Corporation. So this is also very important. Let us learn something about uses of supercomputers. You can see when you see the application, you'll understand the complexity, and that's why we use supercomputers. So weather forecasting. So whenever weather forecasting, we use a supercomputer. So what is the relation between why we cannot use a normal computer for weather processing means? So weather processing is a prediction of whether it's going to be rain or it's going something. What it does means it's like we take thousands of patterns, clouds patterns, and which is as done in the past, and it makes the comparison. So the millions of such comparison, and automatically we come to a conclusion in that time. So, and this is the combination of clouds, and this is the wind speed and all. There are many calculations. So, and then they were going to predict. So, because it involves a large amount of data and mathematical calculations, so supercomputers are used in forecasting weathers. And also we have animated graphics like Hollywood movies. You have seen the movies, so there also we cannot use your computers to create effects which you have seen in the movies. Maybe many movies, Hollywood movies, most of them or comes with animated only. So there we definitely we cannot use the normal computers there, because that requires such a processing and also the graphics. So it has to be blend together. So for that purpose, we use we use supercomputers and fluid dynamic calculations. There's also some physics. We may be using some calculations there also. We use some research we doing on some particular area where the reaction takes place continuously for months together, or maybe their calculation is required, means there we go for this supercomputers. Of course, nuclear energy research, there also we use the supercomputers. And space science. So it's normally today's we are sending sending satellite to moons and also that's recently is happening. So that background, we need to handle large amount of data. There also we use supercomputers. Weapon and missiles designs today, that's also we use, and petroleum exploration. So these are the area of supercomputers, where supercomputers are being used. Sometimes they may ask 5 marks, mention any 5 uses of supercomputers. We can use it, weather forecasting, animated graphics in Hollywood movies, fluid dynamic calculation, nuclear research, space science, weapon and missile design, so petroleum exploration. Any 5 you can write. So that's simple to remember, and also don't go in detail, just to remember where when you go for higher studies, you may learning these things, uses of supercomputers. So today supercomputers are produced by traditional companies such as Cray, IBM, and also HP, Hewlett-Packard, and who had purchased many of 1980s companies to gain their experience. Since October 2010, Tianhe 1A, a supercomputer that has been the fastest in the world, and it is produced by China. Presently it is in the China. The main difference between the supercomputers and the main computer is that the supercomputers channels all its power into executing single program as fast as possible. So whatever it has a power, so all things it channels, it mainly directed towards a single program, what is concentrating. Whereas the mainframe computer uses its power to execute many programs concurrently. So it uses its power according to the program. So we have many, it is deviated, it is distributed, the power is distributed, so that it's quite less powerful, less fast compared to it's too much difference between the mainframe and the supercomputers. So therefore, one of the reason is its power is distributed. So, but it focuses on the entire power. What is the power it having? That will be concentrating only one program at a time. So hence it becomes, that task is done more efficiently and much faster. So that's a major difference between the mainframe computers and the supercomputers. The modern supercomputer consisting of thousands of microprocessors. We have thousands of, that's what I said at the beginning. So we have many microprocessors, thousands of microprocessors, and supercomputers use high-speed facilities. What does high-speed facilities means? Such as a satellite for online processing. So these supercomputers use for online processing. They use example of supercomputers are Cray XP and ETA10 and Deep Blue. And above all, today's number one supercomputers, Tianhe 1A supercomputers of China. Aircraft companies use supercomputers to simulate aircraft and checking its performance. A computer differ based on their data processing abilities. So they are classified according to the purpose and handling of and functionality. I don't know why they repeated here. Not required. This is not there. No needed. So okay. So this is something about supercomputers. Now let us learn about applications of computers. So where and all we use the computers. I think all of you, all walks of life, we use computers. I think you just go with this and very simple. And already you might be knowing. So where computers are being used. So blindly you can say wherever you know, whatever, all walks of life we use computers. Whether it's a medicine, bank, offices, schools, colleges. Let us go with one by one. So the uses of computers classified on the area of usage. So where computers are used. So that is, computers are used in schools and colleges. Computers are implemented in the schools for the creation of a school ID card. Very simple. Some schools have a smart card with the ICs embedded, which contains the details of the student, the information, the creation of marks card, attendance, learning the subjects with audio and video, and fees collection, and also a few examples. So there may be many, in a school, the courses, the classes you are learning, computers is one example. Or maybe they use a digital card. We use a digital card where whenever you log in, just you swipe, automatically your attendance will be counted. Whenever your marks is updated, automatically they will be sent. Whenever you give to concerned lecturers, they swipe and automatically the marks will be entered to your card. That's also, and also the school itself maintains the details and fees collection, how much fees collected and how many students are admitted, or something like data of students and something. And also they are used in with the audio and video. So learning like today smart classes where we use computer to explain certain things. There also we use computers. I think you might have come across whenever we explain certain things, we draw and we explain. So that same thing could also be with the animations, could also be explained, how digestion takes place, starting from mouth to esophagus and something it goes on. So the same thing in diagram. So we have a 3D and you can explain and it becomes very easy to understand. So next we have a banks. The computers used in the creation of account in the bank, transactions, so transfer of funds and alert messages, transaction messages, uses of bank ATM, automatic teller machines, and which are being accessed any part of the globe, online banking, etc. So nowadays banks we have seen, or digital banking, everything is digital now. So whether you go ATM, how it works, we have a computers there and ATM counter, you enter certain things, and also now we can see online Phone Pay, Google Pay, or just you transferring online money transfer, and immediately you see how much money is deducted, all the transaction details will be coming to your mobiles, and that's through computers only. And also offices, many offices use computers, documentation of all the transaction events that carried out by every day, along with the money, fund transaction, payroll for all the events, either in the form of letters or specific application software used to payroll for employees. Then an office, many example, office work, just you, I think I no need to explain such things. It's very simple, you can imagine. So document, when you go to the office, there are many employees working for them, they have to pay the salary, that's a payroll they'll be keeping, and also auditing purpose they use, and also what type of office it is, what transaction they are doing, all such details will be kept on the computers. If it's a medical store, all medicine sold, how many employees working, and what is the present amount the present transaction, money transaction, fund transfer, everything like that. Any offices you can consider. Stock control in business firms. Computers are used in shops and business for the stock account of the movements of their items in business and the money transaction, along with the shipping of items with the quantity, price, and the quality, expiry date, and the tracing of the product at any given point of time, etc. The stock control means there are thousands of products kept in somewhere in firms, normally business firms, like retailers, distributors. So all they have, they should monitor how many items we have sold and to whom we have sold, all such transaction details and how much money we have received, all shipping items, how many we sent, what is the quantity, quality, what is the price, so and when it is going to expiry date, all such things are available for your fingertip. Just you type and you'll get all the details. That is what stock controls in business for firms. So next we have a stock exchange. The stock exchange, I think you're not familiar with. To check the stock exchange globally, transaction of selling and buying of stocks can be done with the help of computers. Stock exchange members carry out the transaction only with the help of computers, and online trading is carried out throughout the world. sitting at one place. So stocking is like a buying of shares and selling of shares exchange. So how do you know about the details? How do you do this trading? Means using it's a globally you can sitting at home. You can make you can buy shares from American companies or in US, UK companies or Indian any companies, and also you can sell buy at any time. And also you can take the details about what is happening. All such will be getting from the sitting at one place. Research and development. So the new environment intention. One more is we have the research and developments. The new invention or design implemented with the animated virtual view with the scientific it's a research and the mathematical equations in the labs with the help of computers. Models are implemented in the real world, which saves time, resource, money, etc. Research and developments. Then, so normally when we do research, sometimes and the new inventions are designed and implemented with the animated virtual view with the scientific and mathematical equations in the labs. Normally, what happens? Something you are going to explain, something you have developed, and how it looks like, how so that you can create a 3D virtual view. It exactly looks it's going to design. Maybe you have developed a design new car, maybe how it looks, and before you producing that one, you can show it virtually. You can show this is how it is going to. So how this is done means using computers, and how virtual reality is created means using the scientific and mathematical equation. That using with the help of that we are going to do. These models are created in the real world and saves time, resource, money and all. Otherwise what happens? You have to build everything and you have a drawback and it is wasted. So that money can be saved and also time could be saved, but it doesn't require. So but directly you can do it on the machines, computers. Entertainment and news. We have seen computers are used in audio, video, created studio after a pictures taken, editing process, cloning, merging, sound images, and we have seen in a TV channel, you can see many things is taking place at the same time. How it works because of the computers working in the background. Government offices, all transaction now digitalized, all transaction of government law and information has been websites of the government they use. And satellite communication. So with using the satellites, with the venture of satellite communications are made available to the entire world. So this have led the growth of information technology globally, and every country is implemented the standardized so that the communication is at easy. You can see you can call anybody, video calling, doing all this because of satellite communication. This works because of computers. Satellite communication is possible because of the computers. So browsing, surfing, chatting, email, messaging, online gaming, so some of the area of communication. I think all of you are familiar, like what's you doing, WhatsApp, chatting, and, browsing for something, and you're sending mail from one person to another, messaging, and online games also available. So there are many things because of computers. And next more we have, one more is the publishing. So publishing is the process of making work available to the public. So these works includes books, magazines, and newspapers, musics and film and video. The special software assists a graphic designer in developing pages that include a text, graphics and photos. Like you have seen many animated, edited, composing and enhancing the songs, filmmakers in creating, editing films, and journalists and mobile users capturing and modifying the video clips. Many publishers make their own available online. So some websites also you to copy the work such as a book, music or desktops. All these are publishing. You have seen a website, many website where it's available for free of cost and you can see, and there are so many texts and you can read novels, you can, there are many things online you can available that also you can read. And travel, and also you can use it traveling. So whether the traveling by car or airplane, or your goal is to arrive safely at a destination. As you make the journey, you may interact with some of the latest technology. Vehicles manufactured today often include some of onboard navigation systems such as India Map. Many mobile devices such as smartphones have built-in navigation system. Some mobile users prefer to carry specialized handheld navigation devices in preparing for the trip. So you may need not to reserve a car, hotel, flight. Many websites offer these services to the public. So for example, you can order for airline tickets on the web if you plan to drive somewhere or unsure of the road to take your destination. So you can print the direction and map from the web. This also we have seen nowadays. I think a very simple one means whatever you are in vehicles, we are coming with the map. Using the map mobiles most commonly. Wherever you want, it shows the direction. So from one place to another place. That's one. And also you can go and reserve. Earlier what happens, we do not had online. If you are going for some other place like within the domestic, you imagine. So you want to you shifted to Delhi from here and you don't know where to go, hotels and all. Just you online, you check it and book the hotel and directly you go there. So asking no assistance required. And also maps are available. So just you go there, automatically it is possible. So, and this are the traveling, supporting travel, you can do all those things. And also computer-aided manufacturing, using computers environments, you can create. So refers to the use of computer to assist the manufacturing process such as fabrication and assembling. Industries use the CAM to reduce the product development cost because humans are not involved here, shortens the product's time. So development becomes much faster to the market and stay ahead of the competition. If you are using CAM in your organization or company means you can produce more. So robots carry out the processes in a CAM environment. CAM is used by variety of industries including oil drilling, power generation, food production, automobiles manufacturing. Automobile plants, for example, have an entire line of industrial robots that assemble car and special computers on the shop floor, record actual labor, material, machines, and computers, time and manufacture of products. The computer processes this data and automatically update inventory, production, and payroll and according to the records and many networks. So this also computer-aided means whenever the organizations use the computers, one is robotics, robots they use, and also they use shortens the human resource, and also development becomes much faster. That's very simple. I think no need to explain, just very simple things. Where we use computers, and not only just it supports for manufacturing, but also it maintains the data and labor, material, machines, and computer time used for manufacture, all those things, and payroll, paying the salary for employees, and accounting records. Everything is also done by using whenever we have computers. So next is hospitals. So hospitals, I think nowadays we use computers extensively. The patient's ID card details helping the diagnosing, medications and history of patients are maintained. So these are a few areas where data and information are obtained with the help of computers have made the right impression for a betterment of a man and mankind. So what actually happens means, so whenever you get into the hospital admitted means you will get like a card. So digital card, so their ID card we call. So there we'll get all the details. Why did you admit in the hospital? What are the symptoms? What are the diseases? And what are the treatments you have done? And next time when you go there, so your history will be carried in your card. Once your card is entered, automatically you will know exactly what treatment has done, what was the earlier disease, pre-diseases, and what is the time that is elapsed, and maybe like that is helps. And also go for scanning other things, many other things. Many scannings, MIC or ECG. That's all something wrong things they have given here. Okay, ECG actually it is ECG. MIR this is not C is not there. MIR. So these are some scanning they use the computers, like we discussed about analog and hybrid computers there we use in hospitals. Like you can read these things, small office, all the same thing is repeated again. Okay, that's complete this chapter and learn about and try to write the notes and write 1 marks, 2 marks questions for this. You can see here at the end of the chapter you have questions. So these questions has to be answered. What is computer? What are the advantages of learning computers? What is the earliest computing machines? Who invented Pascaline? So all this you have to write it in notes. All 1 marks questions, all 2 marks questions, and all 3 marks questions, and all 5 marks questions. Anything which you have not understood questions or you're not getting the answers, you can ask me, okay? I hope you have understood. If you have a doubts, you have to read this, just a theoretical chapters, just theory you have to read, like your 10th standard, what you just, like history, these are things we had, this is how, something like that. So just you go and learn, and we'll continue the next class. If you have any doubt, let me know. Okay.